Hello, how you doing? It's Dan McDonald. I'm the Life Regenerator here on YouTube. I'm here with my beautiful daughter, Natea. And it's my hope, actually, that we can go over some information today that's going to be helpful. Because Natea, she's really getting into health quite a bit. Track,
Cross country.
cross country, weightlifting,
Yeah.
yoga champion. We went to Bikram Yoga. This is the thing about Natea. We went to Bikram Yoga.
Bikram?
Yeah, hot yoga.
Okay.
And it's a
okay.
90-minute class, and it's quite a vigorous workout. And she went through every single one of the poses on her very first Bikram yoga class. So that says one thing, that you're actually in really good physical condition to be able to do that. It was very impressive. The teacher was actually a DTM fan, so she was kind of starstruck. That was kind of cool. Um, so we were going to go over some things today. Natea is interested in quite a few things, but you tell me what you're interested in, pull it out of me with the intention to help to inspire and educate on some of the finer details of, you know, eating in a way that's supportive of health, life, and beauty.
I want nice hair, really nice, like big muscle,
Mm-hmm.
strong. I want to be really strong, um, not just for a girl, but just in general strong. And I want clear skin and just to be overall healthy.
Okay. So one thing I'm going to point out first of all is the languaging. Just because this is my opportunity to sort of my main priority is you, and then hopefully what happens is through osmosis we can pick up a few of the things that I think are important. One thing I'd like you to consider as my daughter is, removing the word want. You see, want, in my experience, creates a gap. And so instead of saying, I want beautiful hair, it's better to repeat inside your mind to get into the unconscious, I have beautiful hair. You affirm things in the affirmative right now, and then that programs the unconscious mind to make the choices in the day-to-day life. This is very subtle, but this is where the deepest levels of healing and beauty and confidence come in. So now you say, so you're asking me now, another better way to language it might be, so I'm looking to improve the quality of my hair. So, and then you say to yourself, I have beautiful hair. My hair quality is improving. My skin quality is improving. That way you're programming your mind to make those choices automatically. Everything is coming out of the unconscious. The conscious mind is like one small percentage. So in your quiet time, make sure that you're focused on programming yourself in the affirmative. So, do you know what I mean?
I do.
Okay,
yeah.
cool, good. So, what can we move on from there?
Skin quality. How can I make my skin nicer? And what can I do to like cut out? What can I do to add in
Right.
to have more? I mean, the youthfulness isn't so much a problem, but it gets. I feel like what you do now sets you up for the future. Like, I really believe that.
Yeah, well, one of the things is stress,
Mhm.
which also, again, coming from the unconscious. So, making sure that you're learning like relaxation techniques
Mhm.
is going to be one of the more underlying issues when it comes to healthy skin. Stress ages you rapidly because stress shuts down the health giving endorphins that come from the heart. So, really, it's like if you want to have good skin, practice the art of loving yourself and accepting yourself. And not so much looking outside of yourself for that love and acceptance. You're not looking for love and acceptance from your friends.
Mhm.
You're not looking for love and acceptance necessarily even from your parents, although you do that at a very young age.
Mhm.
And of course, you have the love and acceptance of me and your mom, so that's very helpful. Some people don't. But the number one key is your own love and self acceptance. And that helps to alleviate stress because that helps you to have trust and faith in yourself. Cool? Okay, now number two, you already know. What's the best thing we did the last 2 days for our skin?
Yoga.
The
Yeah,
hot yoga.
Sweating, yeah.
Sweating like a pig on a hot summer day. Okay, I mean, you go into hot yoga, and your towel is drenched with your own sweat when you're done.
Yeah.
What that does is it opens up your pores and it pulls out lots and lots of toxins. But don't forget, it also pulls out minerals.
Your skin looks tons better after. doing
Yeah,
that.
it does. And so, making sure that if you go into hot yoga, that you're actually replacing your minerals. That was your deal today, Jabari, too. Was your coaches are talking about water, water, water,
Yeah.
but they don't really know what they're talking about because it's really the electrolytes, which create conductivity, and that's going to give you energy and keep you from cramping or whatever your deal was. You know, same thing with you. If you go to, that's the thing about sweating on a hot summer day or in the sauna. Yes, you sweat out toxins, but you also sweat out all your minerals. So you have to make sure that you're replacing your minerals, whether you're an athlete or you do hot yoga. The minerals also help to create elasticity in the skin, especially like cucumbers. You were asking what's for the beauty. So once we sweat, what do we replace those minerals with, and what kind of minerals are we using to produce healthy skin? That's going to be the cucumbers, things like celery, and lots of fruit.
They actually have electrolytes.
The fruits and the vegetables have electrolytes. Yes. Hey, you guys, could I'm a little bit distracted, so I don't mean to stop you up your game, but this is important. Do you understand? Is it cool? Thank you. I know this is probably not your thing, the whole health kick, but what's your name?
Selena.
Selena and Jabari.
Yeah.
And you're Natea's boyfriend? You guys, no? Friends? What?
Treading on difficult territory.
Oh, okay. It's complicated?
Yeah.
Is that
I would never set that on Facebook though. That's embarrassing.
Okay.
I think we have like mutual like Facebook not.
Yeah.
sex.
Anyway,
Yeah.
electrolytes.
She's good at keeping it on track. I just want to know what's going on around here, okay? But anyways, the electrolytes, so the fruits. The fruit makes you cute, and the greens keep you clean. Those are the two foods that you're going to want to rely on and anybody's going to want to rely on in any area of life as far as producing health. A focus on mineral-rich, tree-ripened fruits, which create a flesh that is beautiful, colorful, the colors of the rainbow coming through the mangoes, coming through the carrots, the beets, the apples. Those fruits make your skin plump, and they keep the wrinkles from forming. Also the cucumbers as well, the silica that's in the cucumbers. There's also herbs that you can use too. There's herbs that you can use topically for your hair. I use these Morocco Method products that have silica in them, aloe vera, and lots of other gem type mineral stones that are crushed up at small levels so that they soak into the skin and help the hair to grow. But as far as the food goes, the fruits and the vegetables. But the one of the greatest beauty foods of all time is one of my secrets. I probably eat anywhere from 1 to 4 cucumbers a day. Sometimes even 6 or 8 cucumbers, you know. That is a true beauty food. And the watermelon skin as well. And you know, I will juice a non-organic watermelon because the watermelons don't get sprayed as much as many other non-organic fruits. I'll wash it really good. Most of the time, I will juice the organic watermelons only. And I will cut the outer layer off of the inorganic ones. But, you know, in the summer, if I want those beauty minerals that are in the skin, a lot of fruits, the minerals are in the skin. Same thing with the apples. You want those minerals that are right there at the edge of the apple skin. So it's a lot of the fruits and veg as the diet. Clean eating. That's how you're going to have clean skin, because that's how you're going to keep your kidneys clean and your liver.
So what should I cut out then?
That
to
was what we'll
minimize?
move into next. Once you know that organic, predominantly organic, if you're living in a place where you can't get organic, you know, you don't want to eat inorganic strawberries. You don't want to eat inorganic celery or lettuce because those are heavily sprayed. There are other foods like bananas and avocados and oranges and grapefruits that don't matter as much because they've got a protector. and then everything is distilled through the roots,
Mhm.
and all the toxins don't make their way up. But the strawberries are sprayed right there. The inorganic apples, never. Always have that white, powdery stuff. That's like chemicals. That's death. And it really is going to affect your bloodstream, and it's going to affect the integrity of your cells. So go with the organic. Dirt is fine. Everyone's like, you should rinse that. I'm like, no, a little bit of dirt on my beets, or a little bit of dirt on my celery or my
Doesn't
lettuce.
that have B12 then?
Yes, it does.
Okay, yeah.
That's a big part of the B12 story, is actually eating dirt. It changed. You know, Lou Corona one time, he was like, I haven't rinsed a fruit or vegetable in 37 years, and now it's probably 39. I looked at him and I was like, oh, okay, and I totally shifted my whole thing. And unless there's, detectable mud.
Yeah.
If there's mud on the cilantro, or there's mud on the celery, or a lot of mud on the celery, or a lot of mud in the spinach, those are some of the more ones that have that. Or there's mud on the arugula. Of course, you rinse that off, and you get the salad spinner out, and you try to get as much of the tap water off there as you can, because you got to make this judgment call. You're like, okay, the dirt or the tap water. And personally, looking at it from the side of a health advocate, I'd rather have a little bit of healthy organic dirt with some microbes in it that actually do add to the B12 in your GI tract, at the top end of the GI tract, than chemicals that are, nerve gases from World War II. You know what I'm saying? That were left over, and they said, well, let's put them on the vegetables. It's in madness. And if once people
Does that
knew the
actually
truth,
happen?
that is exactly what it was. They were like, well, what are we going to do with all these chemicals, these billions of pounds of chemicals? Well, let's spray them on the fruits and vegetables. So you got to be very savvy and very educated, right? And then it creates neurological damage. People's nerves are really shot, and bringing your nerves back into health is very key. Well, we can go into that in another video sometime, because I've had to regenerate my brain and nerves with my past, and I'm slowly but surely learning what it takes to regenerate the brain and nervous system. But now, what are you going to eliminate? That's the thing. Once you've got on the high fruits and vegetables, some of the things that I think that you might be doing wrong are the nuts and the seeds.
Is food combining like a really big deal? Like, is it?
For some people it is. If you have iron guts, it's not in the sense of digestion, but it can be in the sense of mental clarity through the blood. When you've got too much fat, too much sugar, too much protein in the blood, it's a bit of a mess. The best thing to do is like coconut, celery, cucumber juice, cilantro into the blood, thin minerals, a little bit of protein from the celery and from the cilantro.
Is protein? Because protein's not that big of a deal. Like, as long as you're not living on like pop and Twinkies, you'll.
Protein is not a big deal. People are over proteined,
Yeah.
and they're under carbed and under fatted.
Okay.
That's the thing. I mean, the protein is the least thing that people need to worry about, but everybody's so pumped up on protein. Why do you think there's so much cancer? Why do you think there's so much pain? Why do you think there's so much stiffness, arthritis? It's from the uric acids, and it's from the excess proteins. The acids that are produced from these dudes that are like, they got big old guts. I saw it today, as a matter of fact. They got these huge guts, and they're they're at Whole Foods, and they're like, I need a protein powder. And I'm sitting there going, dude, you have about 20 to 40 pounds of protein on your gut that needs to be dissolved, broken down, utilized by the body, because the body will recycle the fats and the proteins that are sitting on your gut. The ones it can use, it'll utilize for fuel and for building material, and the ones that it can't, it will eliminate, and it'll eliminate the toxins that are stored in that big old gut. But here's this guy thinking, because of a mentalization of protein programming, that you need protein. Well, what do you need protein for? You're 40 pounds overweight. It doesn't make any sense. If you're underweight and you're vigorous with your physical activity, you need to up your protein. If you're an elite athlete, you're pretty much one of the few people that needs to worry about just adding maybe 5 to 10% more protein to your diet. Amino acids, bee pollen, some sunflower seeds, hemp seeds, almonds are fantastic. Spinach and greens are the best, but you got to eat such high volumes of that it's better to bring in 20 or 30 blended almonds on a salad dressing to get some of those more concentrated aminos.
Mm-hmm.
Protein is the last thing you need to worry about.
How can I gain weight eating, vegan, raw, whatever?
Well, the like the coconut almond yogurt, the hemp seeds, the avocados, the coconuts. The fats are really nice to have a nice. A woman should be a little bit. You actually look really perfect to me.
Really?
If you could hold that, what you've got right now, you're actually in really, really perfect physical
If I
female
gain
health.
muscle, because I want.
Let's see your show your muscle.
It looks really bad right
It's
now.
okay, Taya. No, it's perfect. That is. Show it again. You see, that is a perfect for a woman. And you've got some great tissue there. So that's perfect for a woman. It's when they're too skinny, it ain't happening for me anyways. I got to have a little something to work with here. And it's a sign of health because if a woman's too skinny and she tries to have a baby, that's not going to be a healthy baby because the brain is made of fat and water. You see what I mean? The brain runs off
That's
sugar.
what I've been meaning to ask you. So, you know the whole theory that humans got big brains from animal fats, things like that? I was looking up on it, something about like carbohydrates, how it was more likely it was carbohydrates, but
hmm
I'm just curious what's your take on that.
I think human brains grew because we used them. Actually, I think that as the human, the monkey brain is 7 or 8 or 13%. Maybe it's 13% for a monkey with a frontal lobe, and I think that the human has a 33% frontal lobe. So as you use that part of your brain, that part of your brain grows. So if you use whatever part of as the reptilian brain grew, and then that evolved more and more, and as those parts of the brain were used more neurons and dendrites were produced, which would create more need for that fatty tissue to protect those electrical impulses, which became the underlying foundation of the creation of the human brain. So I don't think it has to do with cooking food. That's a nice theory, but how did a giraffe's brain grow? It wasn't probably the cooking of the food, but it was the ingenuity on all levels. And perhaps cooking is ingenuity for survival. And so I can't really argue and say, yeah, would I want to like chase down an animal and eat its flesh raw if I'm living in Michigan 500,000 years ago as an American Indian? Maybe I would have wanted to have cooked it. I don't know, but probably better to eat raw meat, because of the transformation of, the transformation of
'Cause it
the
releases
elements.
carcinogens.
Carcinogens, acrylamides, and all kinds of different nasty, carcinogenic, altered. It's like the fire of death compared to the sunlight, which is the fire of life. And the bananas are ripened by the fire of life. The mangoes and the dragon fruit, ripened by the fire of life. And so the fire of life feeds me. I know that. It's not the sun, it's even more subtle than that. But what animates the sun and animates the stars and turns the planet, that is the source of my own self. That's why I dive deep within, find the core and the source and the essence of all that is, and get to be expanded into peace as you begin to realize your true nature, And so then all the rest is just details about how our brains grew and all that stuff. And I just have theories too, that we actually used our brains, we screwed the screwdriver and developed neurons on how to do that. Boop, 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 boop. And then the brain developed around the ingenuity. So we have to keep growing and evolving as human beings. So
Anyway, so where
we were talking. We wanted to go back to, and I do this better now than I used to. Come back from the tangents, which was the dirty eating.
Right.
And I was
right.
saying to you that I feel like there's some things you're doing that could be improved. Like nuts are really good. I love nuts and seeds, but I will not put nuts and seeds that are not of the highest quality, because I know that if you there's Brazil nuts that you could get online that are, you talk to the people, you call them up, hey, when did you get this shipment in? Do you airlock them? Do you put them in an oxygen-free environment, in a cold silo? You talk to the people, you find out about the Brazil nuts, you order a bag, you taste them, you taste the freshness, and you go, boom, this is where I'm going to get my Brazil nuts, Or you get the walnuts from the farmer's market and you say, hey, when did you pick these? And they're like, oh, those came off the trees 2 weeks ago. Well, yeah, But you could go to the store and get the shelled walnuts. Well, God knows how long they've been sitting in a silo, or what kind of animals have peed on them, and how rancid the fats are inside those walnuts. So in your situation, being with your mom and stuff, she doesn't have access. You guys kind of go to Fred Meyer. I don't even eat the nuts out of Whole Foods. I'll go to the raw food section, and if they've got some Syrian pumpkin seeds from a reputable company, Viva Pura, for example, I will take those heirloom pumpkin seeds, I will soak them, and I will make a pumpkin seed dressing for the zinc a couple times a month, and I'll get the Brazil nuts online.
You don't have to have it every day.
No, you don't. You just want to make sure the body can store certain minerals for a certain amount of time, but that's why I like mineral supplementation. I should try to get you guys some. I got you some bee pollen. I got you some Udo's oil, so that your game is up a little bit. I'll show you about the Udo's oil.
In your experience, honey's been really good for you. Like your
Honey's-
skin, it just.
Yeah, honey's really good for me. It might ferment in you because you have to have clean GI tract in order to
Okay.
make the honey
Maybe that
work well. And it depends on the kind of honey. I only get the raw, highest quality. I always get the highest quality. I do the research. I recommend that people do that. Get savvy. Because we aren't living in nature. If you were living in nature, there would be the little longanberries. You would getting the mangoes off the trees, and either they'd be ripe or they wouldn't. They would either taste good or they wouldn't. You would be getting the walnuts off the tree. You'd be getting the Brazil nuts off the tree. You'd be picking the coconuts off the tree. And they'd either be good or they wouldn't. Well, now we're dealing with some different times where you better educate yourself a little bit more and think. You got to think. And you got to go you got to learn how to smell nuts. You got to learn how to break them open and look at the fat rings inside. And so, and then you look at those walnuts and you're like, I ain't eating that. Because that was the thing I think that you might be, the cashews. I know you're not getting truly raw cashews. And even when you do get truly raw cashews, it's something you do maybe once a month. And then you drink like a lot of water afterwards because they're very mucus forming nuts. You can get truly raw cashews
the most pure form of probably seeds and nuts in general.
that you can get. Sunflower seeds. They hold up really well. They lock in the fats. When you soak those sunflower seeds, the sunflower seeds hold up really, really well. Flax seeds hold up quite well, refrigerated. I always grind my own flax seeds, fresh from some of the best, and that way those flax seeds hold that in there really well.
What about nuts?
Almonds, but truly raw almonds from my friend Bruce, or from a reputable raw food company, online, like the one Viva Pura, which is just on my mind because they have it at Chocolate Tree in Sedona, and I can go down there. I can get the Viva Pura macadamia nuts, which are little butter bombs, but I am not going to eat macadamia nuts out of those silos at the store, not even Whole Foods, because it's nasty. I get some good macadamia nuts from Berry Coral. Now those are fresh little butter bombs. It's the rancid fats that'll mess up your skin. It's the cooked fats that'll mess up your skin. And it'll be the rancid nuts and the rancid and the cooked fats that'll mess up your skin. Now the thing about the cooked carbohydrates, which I don't recommend, that are very mucus forming, it's a big popular thing going on right now to recommend cooked starchy carbohydrates. Now that's fine if you can't afford it and you are hungry and you think you need a lot of those carbohydrates. They're quite stimulating, and I think potatoes are benign, quite benign. They feed the potatoes to the hogs to fatten them up. Then they feed them raw potatoes to thin them down for market. So if you want to get a little bit, it's just extra kind of, potatoes, they'll just put a little bit of meat on you. It won't be the most high quality tissue. Like for me, I'm a string bean. But every fiber in my muscle is for yoga, weightlifting, running. It's all very high quality. It's like Bruce Lee muscle. That's what I like because I like the efficiency and I'm moving into a spiritual phase. Hello, we're filming right now, but the potatoes, those will help you keep on a little bit of size. Okay. I would recommend though, it'd be better to have more like olive oil, avocado, coconut. some of the almonds, the raw fats. I think build, are nice, especially for the women, to saturate the cells with the raw living fats like the olive oil, the coconut oil. I would rather do that than have the dead potatoes, which are more of a starchy weight.
If you steam them, are they better? Like,
I think baked is the best for digestion. I think steamed is second best. Never want to fry anything ever. Doesn't matter who you are. You never want to fry anything. Baked is good with the potatoes. Leave the jackets on. But that would be a last measure. Rice, stick that up against the wall. Sticky,
No.
pasty, and that's what I was talking about for the kidneys. And the pasty, pale. I think you'll see that since I don't eat any grains, I've always got color, and I'm a 100% raw food guy. I always have good color skin, don't I?
and really blue, clear eyes. I've always noticed that.
So that's the purity of the blood, which I've gone in and out. I'm really always working on upping my game. There is a level of mastery that I haven't even began to touch, but I am focused on that because it's pulling me into it. So for you who are the future masters of the world, be pulled by the master within who wants to rise you up to beyond what this world can understand. And you too. Don't let this world tell you that you are not an infinitely majestic and powerful being. They don't want you to believe that. They don't want you to believe that at church. They don't want you to believe that at school. The government don't want you to believe that. Your friends that are lazy and don't have that light burning within them will try to pull you down as well. Never let anybody pull you down. This is for you, this is for you, and this is for you, and this is for you. Never let anybody pull you down. You are a shining light. There is a light that is so bright and so powerful inside of every single human being. But the world wants to rob that from you. The haters want to rob that from you because the work that's required and the balls that you have to live that way because nobody else wants to. Because pizza tastes too good and the beer is really nice and sexy sex sells all day, so people want to humpy bumpy all the time and lose that energy. And then they never take that and become the master that they could be. They never create the life that they deserve. So clean up the diet, get your mind clear, and realize above all else that you are unlimited in your scope and you can do anything you want. Because I'll tell you right now, I'll try to be humble, but maybe I can't. But I'm just saying that when I pray, I get what I want. This life rolls out the red carpet for me because I expect it. Because God knows my heart. And when your heart is pure, your prayers will be heard by the angels in heaven. And they will come running down to serve you. And you might have to go through some challenges only so that you can be shifted in your consciousness. So that you can see properly what they're trying to do for you. So the challenge of growth is beautiful. It will shift you and change you and mold you, and it might be painful, and it might be uncomfortable as it pulls you out of your comfort zone, but it will make you a man. It will make you a woman. It will turn you into a divine being. It will show you how powerful you are. Never neglect the power of your prayers and the faith that you have in this universe, because God loves you, and God wants you to fly, shine, and be so awesome, and it is filling your heart with love. All you have to do is open up to it and believe and have faith. And it is unlimited. I'm telling you, I am the golden boy. I am blessed beyond measure. I'm the luckiest guy that's ever lived on planet Earth. And if you believe that about yourself, it will be true. And the angels will come rushing, and Jesus will hear your prayers. And it'll be magic every time. You'll be so tapped in that it'll be unbelievable, remarkable, unlimited. It is amazing. That's where I'm coming from. You all saw the real DTM for about 1 minute there. I try to hold back on that stuff too much, but there is a fire. And it is inside of you, and it's inside of you, and it's inside of you, and it's inside of me. And we all deserve to be the best we can be and to be loved by our own self. If we knew how much God loved us, it would blow us to bits with this pure love power. I got to go because I got 15 seconds. Did we get some questions answered?
Yes.
Eat clean and believe in yourself. Fresh fruits and vegetables, soaked nuts and seeds, DTM, give this a thumbs up. I'm out.